Good morning, everyone. Oh, let me get my microphone in the right place. It's going to be tricky. I haven't done this in a while. I hope y'all can hear me. I think this is sounding pretty good. Hey, 1, 2. 1, 2. Let me adjust my levels. Doing this on the fly, everybody. Okay, yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, Hymns and Hollers. I don't know what issue this is, but I'm broadcasting today on June 7th. 2026. I just got back from a month being out on the road for a month. It was wonderful. I went from Stockbridge, Massachusetts, all the way down to Florida and played. That was my home state. The squeak that you hear is the sound of this unit. It's an old tape delay. Well, it's not so old, but it's a reproduction of an old tape delay made by the Full Tone Company. I bought one of the first ones that were out from a music store in Brooklyn, and it just sounded so much better than the digital ones. And up until recently, it is held up really well. The only thing that's going on right now is that it's because it's tape and because it's mechanical, meaning there are a lot of moving parts. Things are going to go wrong, just like in an automobile, and it's starting to get a little bit darker in sound, and that's probably just gook on the heads. It's pretty easy. I'm going to clean it this morning, but this is all to say that in life we have to maintain ourselves, and you can do a little, and for your body and for your mind, and notice a big improvement. If you do a little over 2 or 3 weeks, you can change your life, and that's kind of one of the things I'm thinking a lot about. I came back from the road. I didn't eat much junk food. Actually, on the road you would think you do, but I'm always working on the road and moving around. I don't have time to just sit in front of a television set and just kind of sort of make my body get run down and so on. So laziness and just being static is not part of the picture on the road. You're constantly moving. So I tend to lose weight or get in better shape on the road if I can find some yoga to go to. But it's all discipline. And so just like in maintaining these old amplifiers, maintaining these guitars, maintaining this electronic equipment, you have to keep going. I've got an interesting sermon today for you. And let's see. It's Cleophas Robinson. I've shared him before. Check this out. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about today. It's called "Making Love on the Housetop." A wonderful sermon. World famous preacher. He's from St. Louis, but a lot of his sermons were captured in Detroit. This one was captured at Bethlehem Baptist Church in Washington Boulevard. I'm going to go visit that place someday. But this label is Randy's spiritual label, I don't know. Maybe I have one of the very few copies. I don't know who was buying this stuff back in the day. This is made in the 70s or 80s. But anyway, that's one of those things. It's like me talking to y'all. I never know who's listening. But in the modern day, you have to do what you do with a degree of mindfulness that we haven't had to do in ages. Meaning that whatever you do, whatever I do, is going to be preserved. Once this is broadcast, I have no control over it. And so I have to try to speak as if I'm doing my best interpretation of the world as I see it, and the most honest interpretation. I have to speak as if the people about whom I'm speaking are right here in the room with me, because they might well be, as this broadcast circulates. So, but I think that's one of those things about life. I think that's a good thing. I think what the modern world and YouTube and everybody having cameras, it kind of forces us to on one hand, we could say about that, well, we're being monitored. Everything is being watched. True. But what about the concept of God? You know, if you go for that, aren't you being watched all the time? Aren't you being watched by your relatives? I mean, at one point we say to ourselves, somehow in the psyche of all of us, unless we're just complete, unabashed atheists, which I have respect for, if we say to ourselves, well, I'll be with my father in the by and by or whatever. Well, that means your father possibly has the capabilities of seeing everything you're doing in this life. I mean, maybe that follows, maybe it doesn't. But at the very least, God has the capabilities of being with us in this life. So what's the difference between God and YouTube? You know? So, you know, I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but on the other hand, it just gives you something to think about. Is this, if we're always being monitored celestially or by some higher being, why don't we do our best work constantly? Why don't we have our best, most purest thoughts going through our head constantly? But you could say, oh, that's exhausting. You just have to be in top behavior. But we don't have to get it. We don't have to. You don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to patch into this celestial accessibility. You know, okay, now I'll talk to my father. Now my father can see me. Now I can be with my father. Oh no, he can. I don't want him to see me because I'm, you know, having an intimate moment with my wife or whatever. You get the point. I don't think we get to pick and choose like that. It's either one or the other. So, you live your best life. You live the life that you would want to be on YouTube. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting to the point at this point in my life to where I try to be truthful about everything I do. And I don't keep anything from my wife. My wife knows all of my nooks and crannies, and she knows my good parts and my bad parts, and that's as I would want it to be. Anyway, let me try to play something. I'm getting back into shape. I kept myself out of playing for about most of this week, and I gave a guitar lesson yesterday, and it went it went okay, but I wasn't in my best. But this is I'm messing around with this echo, and this is a song I did in collaboration with writer James Nave. want to show y'all something. This is one of the things I do when I'm playing live, especially if I have a delay, is I feed the delay through the pickups. And there's an interesting sound that happens when you're singing into the strings, because the strings on an acoustic guitar vibrate through the body, but not so much on an electric. This is a 1968 Guild Starfire in just mint condition, so I hardly ever play this out. See if I can get the echo going. So that's the feedback coming in. It has nothing to do with the delay. So I'm going to turn the volume down, and I work this live organically. So if I hear the feedback coming on, I'll give it more signal so it feeds back more. And it's starting to get out of control there. So I'll back off on the volume, and if the volume pots are nice and clean, they participate. But check this out. I'll make sure my level on my reverb is pretty high, my mix level. And I sing into the pickup, vibrating the strings, and the delay sort of strengthens the vocal line. What I do is I might make a chord on the guitar, and I vibrate the guitar a little bit. You can't see. Let's see if I can move the headstock down. Yeah, so. In there. It's just probably the way I have my preamp set. It's not a bad thing. This all, I'm sharing this with you today to just let you know that one of the wonderful things about an electric guitar and these effects is that it kind of becomes organic if you know how to manipulate all these different factors. And I just love the aspect of the random, the aspect of the unknown, and I might take a gliss like this. And while I'm doing that on a record, really play around with my repeats on the echo. It's a wonderful sound. Turn up the mic a little bit. Oh, I just love that. And then live, I might take those repeats down, turn the echo volume down. and then mix it back and talk to you guys. I realized that when I was talking a second ago, I was smothered in reverb. It seemed like it was. But anyway, it's all good. The wonderful thing about this is, like I said, that over the years I'm learning to use these devices, and it becomes organic. I will absolutely never do this performance or something like it live the same way. I'm not going to have this thing squeaking the whole broadcast. Right now, at this very moment, it's driving me a little nuts. So I'm going to turn down some volumes. And you're going to hear it pop in a second, but who cares about it? Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Walter Parks Hymns and Hollers. I like to ponder matters of the spirit, matters of creativity. I think, obviously, I'm with y'all from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. or so every Sunday, so I'm not in church. I've kind of gotten a little bit. I just don't have feel the deep need to be in a church. I don't like the concept of worship. I think I don't think Jesus would have wanted us to spend an hour of our time sitting around praising him. Yeah, I get that we're studying his word a little bit, and I get that maybe when the offering plate comes along, we can show how grateful we are. But I just don't feel the need to do that. Maybe that sounds judgmental, but so be it, I guess. I've been getting these postcards from Marlon Burt, and he's a postcard artist, and I really love getting these things from him. Check these things out. Just every week or so he sends these things to me. I don't know. It's a little dark, but dark. This one is the most recent one I got. It's Life. I love that. And he has colored that, he's hand colored it. And this is an old postcard of 2 black men and 1 white guy sitting on front of a old southern porch, hand colored, and so on. I'm going to put these up make a big piece of artwork. The things that people do for me and send to me. This was my rhinestone Bible that about 10 years ago, a lady who started as a fan and now she's kind of become a friend, Violet in Spuds, Florida, made this rhinestone Bible for me, and it's up to my desk. My point is that give people a gift. Give people a gift. They remember you. You stay in their life even when you're not physically there. I have an eye pillow, that I put over my eyes when I'm sleeping, and there's a woman I think of who gave me that when I lived in Asheville, North Carolina. Her name was Martina, and I think of her all the time. So that's the wonderful thing about a gift. It doesn't have to be weird or anything. It's just like a reminder, hey, you meant something to me in the day, and we stay connected. Speaking about staying connected, I hear the good morning sound of Mona's necklace just shaking. That's her first order of business, is to shake herself off when she wakes up in the other room every morning. And so she'll be joining us on the air shortly. Mona is a 15-year-old American Staffordshire Terrier. It's a great breed. We love the breed. Before we had Mona, I told Margot, I said, I don't, Margot about me. I don't hunt, and I don't want to kill animals, but that's probably the only animal I could do that to. It was a pit bull. I didn't like him at all. I just hated pit bulls when I was before Mona came into our life. And Mona, wonderful thing about animals. She has she grew on me, you know, and yeah, I'll be sad when Mona passes away, but you know, Mona's been she's been challenging throughout the years, but she's mellowed out quite a bit. My point is, we learned how, and this was from the wisdom of my wife Marga. We learned how to keep Mona from the worst parts of herself. We learned how to put her in situations, or keep her in situations where she could be her best Mona. And that's what we have to do as people. That's what we have to try to encourage in other people that we care about. If we have control or influence over that. And that's why I don't want to sit around in church on Sundays. I feel like I could be maybe doing something more, helping y'all to think about these things, or maybe inspiring other people, sharing what I have and inspiring people to stay in music and stay with the arts. I mean, when I sit down with the guitar, and I'm just gonna demonstrate something to y'all. I'm going to do something, or try to do something on the air right now that I've never done before. Now, what I mean by that is I'm premiering it, but whatever I premiere is only accident. So this is not rehearsed, but you know, it's difficult to do something you've never done before. And so right, here's how I would start doing it as an artist, or as a guitar player. But this can apply to anything. Change the variables, okay? I just got through playing a song for y'all that had the tremolo rate there. So I'm gonna turn the tremolo rate really, really slow. So it kind of has a beat to it. And so what's coming to mind, you listen to what's coming to mind, you know, what's coming to you. I'm thinking swampy, because I do swampy stuff. I'm not going to leave my realm. I'm going to try and not walk the same path of melody and notes that I've always walked. So I'm going to give myself plenty of hair on the guitar if I possibly can, see what happens. So, you know. The feedback's getting away from me. Hold on, I got it, Margo. I got it. So. That's interesting, but I'm going to take the reverb out of it. It's kind of cool. Never done that before. It's almost like the tremolo's the drummer. Are y'all with me? Another thing, when melodies start coming to me, I'm mindful of trying to put the melody in the holes. The holes are where I'm not playing. So people ask me, how do you write songs? I lost track of the original idea. Go back to that. So another thing that I'm going to be doing, because this is a new idea coming to me, I've got that slow vibe going with the guitar, right? I'm going to try to invite a melody that's a little bit more active. Like Mona's saying, "Let me out now. Let me out now." She doesn't care about this broadcast. Okay, so let me see if I can pull that up. And here's another thing, y'all. Here's another thing. Because live performance is such an important part of my process, I want ideas to come to me that come naturally. It's really important that I not force them so much that I have to study and school myself for weeks to try to coordinate my hands with my voice and all of that stuff. It's like I want the stuff to flow out of me naturally so that I can perform it live. Okay. Another thing that's bothering me right now is I'm hearing a compressor. Hey. Yeah, I don't like that, what the compressor's doing to my voice, because as I can't hear it under the guitar. So you could be saying, "Well, turn the damn guitar down." It's written in first Thespians. Don't ever turn a guitar down. So it's in the Bible. So don't do that. So let me get back in time. And so another thing that I do is I'm listening to myself for ideas that might pop out that I kind of like, that would be ideas that I would feel would be deserving of being repeated. And I like that line that I just commit. So I'm just going to make up a word. This is so cliche, it's ridiculous, but living on the bayou. I've never lived on the bayou, but I'm living in the suburbs of St. Louis. So you get what I'm saying. That's just a little window into my creative process. And that's not the only way I write songs, but that's the way I definitely get a lot of my Swamp Cabbage songs come to me that way. I just fiddle around until a riff comes to me. I play around a lot, but you have to allow yourself the play around time. You have to allow yourself that freedom, so those possibilities might happen. So I'm gonna bring the compressor back in so I sound more like a radio voice. Yeah. I hate compressors, really, or at least cheap ones. Okay. I'm gonna turn the tremolo off and turn the guitar down. So, hey, let's go to church for a second. I've got that great sermon I was talking to you about. Let me put this guitar over here. we've got some interference by our cell phones. Um, and let's see if I can locate my cell phone. Oh yeah, it might be mine over here. Yeah, I moved it away from I have a unit that was sending what was happening on my computer to the broadcast, and then my cell phone was sitting on top of that. You got to be careful with that. So this is once again this was a 1968 Guild Starfire. Love this guitar. It sounds great. It kind of finds its way in the mix. Look at that thing. It's a mint condition. This is a very rare, what they call the cherry burst, and just original condition. Bought it in Hoboken, New Jersey, which is where it was made, oddly enough. And I was shopping for a Stratocaster and found something else, and I bought it at Hoboken Vintage in about 2001. And I sold the guitar at one point, and figured out that the guy that I sold it to still had it, so he was living in the woods in Virginia. I went back to him and bought it from him, so he made a little bit of money on me. And that was, I guess I had seller's remorse or something. I think there's seller's remorse and buyer's remorse. I had seller's remorse, and I did something about it. Listen, we're going to take you to St. Louis, Missouri, back in the 1970s. And I'm going to play the greater part of side A on this thing. And y'all just, you don't have to go to church, because I take us there. This is some of the best stuff I've ever heard. And this is a sermon called Making Love on the Housetop. And it's taken from 2 Samuel, I think. I don't know. Who cares about the verse? You're not going to look it up anyway. And even if you looked it up, it wouldn't be in a language that we speak in everyday parlance here. So what's this telling me here? So I'll let Reverend Cleophas Robinson tell you about this. Here's the picture again. Look at him. That's just great. Making Love on the Housetop. A little background. I mean, if you're a spiritual or biblical scholar, you're going to say this guy's crazy. And I am. There is a character named Absalom, who I think was the son of David, and David was a king. Absalom decided he was going to, at some point, sleep with his father's concubines. And God, at least in the Bible, sanctioned this. He had 10 concubines up there, and he decided, I'm just going to show all of Israel how bold I am, and how disobedient, and how carefree I am. I don't give a rat's what my father, the king, thinks. I'm going to go up on the roof and sleep with his concubines, his prostitutes. And or I don't know, maybe that doesn't directly translate to prostitutes, but they were the women in his realm, in David's realm. The son sleeps with them. And this is in 2 Samuel. Read it for yourself. Sanctioned by God. Now, how do you reconcile all that, especially with modern treatment of the concepts of modern concepts of respect for women? And this is an example of how, looking back on things that were sort of normal back then, we have to ask ourselves, or at least I ask myself, how can I use their behavior as a guide for anything? So that's a big problem I have with Scripture and with the whole thing. We'll get into that later. But Reverend Cleophas Robinson from the 1970s. Here we go, everybody. Now I want y'all to be aware, this is going to go for about 10, 15 minutes. but you will be enraptured the whole time, I guarantee it. Notice how Cleophas starts very plainly in the tone and the timbre of his voice, and the speed of it, and the tempo of it, and the melody. There's really no melody in his talking until you get about 10 minutes into the first side, and then you start hearing some melody, and that's where the musicians are not even present on this side of the record. They come in on the second side, but they start hearing the tonality in the preacher's voice, and they start playing songs or preparing themselves in a certain key to their pastor. Here we go. Sunday morning hymns and hollers. I'm Walter Parks.
Would like to invite your attentions tonight.
Yes, sir.
2 Samuel, the 16th chapter, beginning at the 21st verse. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Go in unto thy father's concubines, which he hath left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art abhorred of thy father. Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of the house. And Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all of Israel. Our subject tonight, making love on the top of the house.
All right. Yes, sir. This is good right now.
Our discussion has its origin around Absalom.
Yes, well.
He was of royal descent.
Well.
On both sides.
Yes, sir. All right.
For his mother was a king's daughter. And you know, his daddy was a king.
Well. Yeah.
Undoubtedly, he was heir to the throne.
Yeah. Well.
And the favorite, the idol of his father.
Well.
You know, Absalom might be called the outside child. You know, a lot of these men will slip out and get a baby on the outside, and they're more crazy about that baby outside than he is of the ones on the inside. Absalom was gifted with remarkable beauty. There was no blemish in him. It may seem strange for me to say it, but in stuttering last week, I found out that it's dangerous to be good looking. Of course, somebody might say it's a crime to be ugly. But remarkable beauty, either of a man or woman, often proves a dangerous snare for a person who looks pretty good. You got to be on a constant watch against the temptations that Satan brings you. You see, anybody go downtown and see a pretty little pair of shoes, they'll buy them quicker than they will a shoe that don't look so hot. Lord have mercy. But I want to tell you tonight, if you are not mindful, sin will take you and your good looks and make you run out and be nothing. You see, the woman that looks pretty good, especially if she's stacked all right, some man will always be telling her, you know you's a stone fox. And if the man looks all right, the way these ladies are these days, they'll tell you, you's a right-on brother. Or they'll say, you're a fine stud. So it's kind of dangerous to look pretty good. Lord have mercy. Making love on the top of the house. To make love on the top of the house, first of all, it was inconvenient because he had to get a ladder to get up on the top of the house. All right? The next thing about making love on the top of the house, if it was hot, he didn't have no air conditioning up there. To keep him cool while he was making love.
I just got to interject. This guy is using humor to really pull people in. I love that.
If it was raining, everything got wet.
He's going to pull him in a second and get back to his message. I love that.
The next thing about making love on the top of the house, if it was cold, he was shivering, trembling, trying to keep warm. You see, what I'm trying to bring out to you tonight, it might be comical, but what I'm trying to tell you tonight, sin will make you do anything. Sin will make you get low. Lord, have mercy. You see, sin does two things. It creates an attitude of boldness. Here was a man, in the words of the text, he got up on the top of the house with 10 women before all of Israel. Now that's in your Bible if you think it ain't there. Sin makes you lose respect for yourself and others. This is the reason that so many of these women are out in the street with these little old hot pants on. These little dresses looking like blouses instead of a dress. God didn't intend for us to go half naked. For when Adam and Eve found out that they were naked, they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Certain things about you ought to be covered up. A man or a woman would look funny with his nose covered up. And Lord have mercy. And too much of your behind part out.
It's too good.
That looks funny. And that needs to be covered up. Yes. The average woman you see out in the street like that, she must have don't have a husband. Because any man with any respect at all wouldn't let his woman get out there half naked unless he henpecked. Lord have mercy. Sin will make you get low. Secondly, sin seeks to destroy whatever it cannot master. You see, Absalom knew he was in trouble. He was in for trouble when he started fooling around with his father's girlfriends. Absalom was advised by Ahithophel. Though this man was a famous politician. Are you going to pray with me? Oh, yes. He was a great counselor. Sin has taken its hold on a lot of people so strong that they start making love in the family circle.
Listen to this now. Listen
there are a lot of these old low-down dirty men. They cook their wife's sister. I know y'all gonna drop on that. They run around with their aunts. Lord have mercy. They go with their first cousin. And if you ain't careful, they'll try to get hold to the grandma. Yeah.
I love when he demonstrated the one of the worst behaviors you could do is he said they run around with the arts. He called it the arts, but that's what he was saying. They run around with the arts. We're almost done.
Without sex, none of us would be here. God ordained and blessed sex, but only within the confines of marriage. Everywhere you go.
All right, that's enough of that. So I think it's great to get a little bit of good old-fashioned Southern preaching every now and then. That's what you come to me for, and it gets you thinking either way. It gets you thinking either way. I mean, no matter what the language is, no matter what the dialect is, no matter how comical or crazy the subject matter is, it gets our minds thinking about what is a life well lived. A couple of more things, and I'm going to sign off. We're almost at the end. I'm going to move my microphone, and maybe y'all can see the picture here. This is the old Jacksonville Coliseum. I was so sad when they tore that down in the early 2000s. That's where I saw so many great concerts. Led Zeppelin played there in 1973. I didn't see him in that building. I saw him later. But they played, Grand Funk recorded their live album there. My first concert was in 1972, when I saw Yes in that room on the Close to the Edge tour. And they opened, the Eagles were their opening act. And that was the Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Coliseum. At its capacity, there were about 9,000 seats. And that's almost, going to see Led Zeppelin in a room with 9,000 seats, it's almost like a house concert these days, compared to the United Center and the Rose Garden in Portland and, and even compared with Madison Square Garden, which I think seats around 20,000 or so. Thanks for being with me today. Let me remind you of some, I think it's some really important stuff. If y'all have any friends in the middle part of Illinois, I'm playing in Effingham, Illinois, next Thursday, I believe. I don't know the date. Might be the, just look it up on my website. It's an outdoor festival. I'm going to be playing solo. I'm loving playing solo these days because I just think of it as the front porch, a big front porch, And I feel like if you can't play folk and traditional music in a front porch style, then you're missing something. Put that back up again, Margot. I didn't. So just move it to your right, the other way. I can't see it. Keep going. Keep going. I can't see the date. Okay, it's the 20th. Yeah, I can't really see the date, but that's okay. It's next Thursday night, and also I'm going to be playing in July with the Unlawful Assembly. We're flying from New York to St. Louis. Ada Dyer, who's currently just got off on tour with Bruce Springsteen, is going to be singing all the old spirituals with myself and Stephen Williams. There we go. So on June 18th, I'll be in Effingham at the Moccasin Creek Festival. June 30th, I start, I'm skipping around. June 30th, I'll be back in the Northeast in Asbury Park for at a little concert series called Tuesdays at the Turf with Ada Dyer, just solo guitar and Ada Dyer. It's just, again, front porch style, but it's a big outdoor thing. It's going to be cool. July 3rd, I'll be up in Ogunquit, Maine, which is just a little north, I think. It's basically not too far from Portland. It's just north of New Hampshire, actually. Playing at Jonathan's. I used to play there a lot with Richie Havens, and that's going to be fun. The Unlawful Assembly at Jonathan's. So if you have anybody has any friends in Freeport, Maine, Portland, Maine, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that area, that's my only return to New England proper. That's July 3rd, Ogunquit, Maine, Jonathan's. July 4th, I'll be in my old stomping grounds at Jersey City, in pretty much the epicenter of the where so much culture happened in the heights of Jersey City, where Margot and I used to present the Vault Allure along with Kern Weissman and other people from the neighborhood. But that's going to be July 4th, Independence Day. The Unlawful Assembly is doing a free outdoor concert, partially sponsored by Riverview Jazz. It's primarily sponsored by the city of Jersey City, Riverview, Fisk Park. I don't know the time, but it doesn't matter. Y'all figure that out. And then July 15th, the Unlawful Assembly flies back to St. Louis. We're playing an outdoor concert for a series called the Whitaker Music Festival at the Botanical Gardens in St. Louis. And I've been told that that is hugely attended. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be featuring Stephen Williams on drums, Ada Dyer on voice, and myself. And then 2 days later, we conclude all that with the Burr Oak concert at the Burr Oak. Check this out right here. That is, I think y'all could see that, but that's the ad for this year. July 17th, we're going to be having, what's different about this year's Burr Oak, which will be our last one. Margot and I are just too busy to kind of keep up the preparations going, which need to be done all year round. We don't have the time for it, fortunately. But what's different about it is the musical acts are going to be set up on the back of the stage. There's going to be a dance Marley in the front of the stage. And we will have a really talented young dancer from Webster University down the street here in Webster Groves. And she's going to be doing interpretive dance to in a modern style to really whichever music suits her fancy. But she'll also be doing some choreography to some of the pieces. Vince Varvel has done a really interesting version of Radiohead's Paranoid Android. We played it a couple of weeks ago. And he'll be doing that among other songs. And we've also got The Unlawful Assembly, and we've got a great group from Detroit called Moonrisers, which is kind of like Americana ambient soundtrack music. It's not vocal oriented, but underneath this 300-year-old oak tree, the lights which is being lit up by ground lights, and people just being with their thoughts and being with their lives and turning off their cell phones and seeing Vivian Birch dance in front of these groups. It's going to be a wonderful night, and that will be Friday, July 17th in St. Louis. People are flying in for it from different parts of the country, and we're encouraging that. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with the Knoxville Smokies this week coming up. The Knoxville Smokies is the minor league team. It is a AA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, which for me to talk like this in St. Louis about the Chicago Cubs, I'm surprised that the ICE is not at my door right now, just wanting to kick me out of here. But they're playing the Montgomery, what's the name? Oh, the Montgomery Biscuits. Y'all, can you believe it? The Knoxville Smokies are playing the Montgomery Biscuits this week from the June 9th through June 11th. And that's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Get your tickets. And the 12th and 13th. So all the way to the 14th. So Montgomery has a chance to really, really get it together this year. And there's seats available. That's the Knoxville Smokies, AA team for the Chicago Cubs. Look, and those of you listening from St. Louis who feel like I'm traitorous in telling you this information, give me credit for the color for the color of my guitar. Okay, give me credit for that. All right. Anyway, Walter Parks. I think I'm going to sign off. Oh yes. If y'all have friends, there's some more things that are happening in August, and I really got to tell you about this because I'm doing my Woodstock Variation show, which is I do my own arrangements, my favorite songs from Woodstock. That's the first half of the show. Then I do a show of my own original material, the second half. I do songs rearranged songs by Richie Havens and so on, but I do this every August. So I'm going to be doing some of these Woodstock songs throughout my tour in August. And so help me out. If y'all have any friends in St. Louis, in Seattle or Portland, and Bellingham, Washington. We might be getting some other shows in the Northwest, but this is my second trip to the Northwest. On August 26th, I'm playing in Seattle, Washington at the Triple Door. I'm going to repeat that. Seattle, Washington, August 26th at the Triple Door. You know that you guys might not know that, but I am setting the bar really high. That is a respectable room. I used to play there with Richie several times, many times. Richie packed it out. I'm not ready to pack that room out yet, or maybe I am. Let's see. They believe in me. I'm going to live up to it. I'm going to rise to the occasion. Can y'all help me get some friends out who live in the Seattle area? August 26th. August 29th, I will be playing in Portland at Artichoke Music. It's a really, really cool listening room. I played there once before. I'm hoping that my friend Lynn O'Brien can sit in. She moved recently from Portland to St. Louis. She's a fantastic vocalist. And August 30th, I'll be in Bellingham, Washington at the New Prospect Theater in the shadow of Mount Baker. And I say that because I'm giving a shout out to our good friend Stephen Baker, who has a mountain named after him in the Northwest. And he walks around the New York area, and people come up to him, and they can just feel that he has a mountain named after him in the Northwest. Mount Baker, Stephen Baker, and anybody who listens to me every Sunday morning, y'all take care. Look, we covered Making Love on the Housetop. We covered the Burr Oak concert series. We covered, I didn't talk about creativity and where it comes from. I really wanted to do that because I figured it out. And we'll save that for next week. I covered improvisation. I covered how I kind of how I tap into my creativity to maybe come up with song ideas. And last but certainly not least, we covered the Knoxville Smokies. Y'all take care. Walter Parks, Hymns and Hollers. Have a good week.